Yes, guys, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to another transfer segment. Arsenal news now, Arsenal transfer news now. Gonna be discussing Bernd Leno leaving Arsenal because that's one of the trending stories. I thought I would be doing a preview right now about the Villarreal game or probably something about Yavis Bissouma or the takeover. But this looks like a story that's making rounds and it's becoming more and more serious. Yesterday I had of it, Leno leaving Arsenal, and I didn't give a lot of energy to it. I just thought it wouldn't happen. I don't see him as a player that could leave Arsenal this summer. That's the truth. But according to Football to London, Arsenal could be prepared for a surprise departure of their number one goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. And we are talking about two perfect replacements in this case, which I'll talk about in depth. First one is Matt Ryan. Of course, my biggest question there is he ready to lead the line for Arsenal? That's my biggest question, first and foremost. Then the other is Wojciech Scezney, a goalkeeper that I do not really believe in at the moment, but I might not have a lot to do about it. So we're going to get the party started. Hit the like button, people. Subscribe to the podcast. We have 40 subscribers off the 20,000 mark. You can see how fast we are running. And that means some people like the content. That means some people like me to be here. And that's what I want. That's what I want. I want to be here when people like it for me to be here. So we're going to talk about the number one goalkeeper situation, Arsenal. I'll try to dig it from the summer because all the fuss that we are in right now started in the summer when we had the big debate of Leno and Martinez, and the question was who should stay, who should go, because it looked like both of them were not really willing to stay at the club. Personally, I was a Leno man and I'm still a Leno man. I thought Leno was the better goalkeeper and I wanted him to stay, and he stayed. Of course, my first priority as an Arsenal fan, I wanted both goalkeepers to stay at the club because that made us one of the best, the best clubs, with the best goalkeepers, having Martinez and Leno working together, one pushing the other. That was one of the biggest things you could ever, think about Arsenal Football Club. I think we had the number one goal. I think we had the number one spot in goal sorted out. It could be one or two seasons where you have two goalkeepers, one backing the other, and all of them are of the same quality. So I thought we had to stay, to keep both of them. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's first look at what has been written around this saga and try to make sense of the story first. Now, according to Football to London, they say Bernd Leno could be a surprise departure for Arsenal this summer. There is speculation that the German international has informed the Gunners of his intention to leave the club when the transfer window reopens, less than a year after his former rival for the number one spot, Emiliano Martinez, was sold to Aston Villa. Whether Mikel Arteta would be open to cashing in on Leno remains to be seen, but the goalkeeper's contract situation does not put Arsenal in strong negotiation position. They go ahead and say that this means in an ideal world, the North London outfit could recoup the 19.2 million fee they paid for Bernd Leno 3 summers ago. Currently, he's valued at £22.5 million, according to Transfer Market. The 29-year-old is one of the few players that Arsenal can sell, raise significant funds to bolster Arteta's first team squad ahead of the new season. I think that is a ridiculous statement from Football.London. We do not need to create, and I said this before and I'll say it again, us letting Leno go is creating an area of priority again. I think the goalkeeping situation at Arsenal it's not all calm, it's not all sorted out, but you would retain Leno and Matt Ryan, and you think, yeah, you could let it slide for 1 or 2 seasons. But again, if you let Leno go, you're creating another area of priority. You now have to go into the market, look for new players. So I think this is really ridiculous when Football.London say we are going to use Leno money to boost our squad. You already have some of the players you want to build on, and for me, I think Leno is not so much of a bad goalkeeper. Could I do with an upgrade? Yes, I would probably. If you're giving me a Donnarumma, who's not going to sign for Arsenal, he's going to Juventus. If you're giving me an Oblak, those are decent upgrades. So I would cash in on Leno. But if you're saying we let go of Leno and speaking about Wojciech Scezney and speaking about Matt Ryan and you're speaking about Pop, come on. That's not a deal I would do personally. According to football.london still, they're saying that amid fresh speculation surrounding his future, Leno has already admitted that he would be open to everything after revealing that talks over a new contract have not begun. Not yet. At the moment, it's not time to speak about the future, he said last month. I know I still have 2 years left on my contract and I'm also 29. For a goalkeeper, that's not too old. I still have got some years to go. I'm very happy at the club. I don't know what will come in the future, but I'm open to everything. So that's according to Bernd Leno when he was speaking. Of course, we went through these people. We went through that press conference about Bernd Leno last month, and we know everything. We know the details of everything they have just written about here on football.london. Arsenal are likely going to lose Bernd Leno this summer as he has informed Arsenal of his intention to leave the club. That's according to League Groove as well. So Leno said maybe it's an adventure to stay at Arsenal. Like I said, I don't know about the future because 2 years is a long time. At the moment, there are no conversations with the club or anything else. So that is according to Bernd Leno. That is his position. And I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to try to share my thoughts about what I think Leno leaving Arsenal, and what it could mean. However, according to football.london, they are saying that in some other surprising news, there is speculation that Bernd Leno has informed Arsenal of his intention to leave the club this summer. The German has been the number one stopper since replacing Peter Cech in between the sticks during the 2018-2019 season. But it would appear his 3-year stay at Arsenal could be coming to an end. With that said, Arsenal may not need to look further than Matt Ryan as a replacement for Leno if reports are to be believed. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. That's it. Bernd Leno said to leave Arsenal in the summer. And we have 2 players that could replace him, Wojciech Scezney and Matt Ryan. That is going to be my discussion in this video. Hit the like button, people. Subscribe. Get me your thoughts. Do you think it's time for Bernd Leno to leave Arsenal? Do you think Arsenal should let Bernd Leno leave at the end of the season? It's a big question because it's a question that really tackles our number one situation, our goalkeeping situation. And I think we've been lucky over the years, over the past 2 years. We've had Martinez, we have Leno, and we have had this calm situation in goal. Now it looks like the storm is rising, and it's typical of Arsenal, isn't it? Very, very typical of Arsenal. But let's get into it. First and foremost, last summer, we had to let go. We had to decide. Is it Leno? Is it Emi Martinez? There's a big debate. Some people were Martinez in. Some people were Leno in. Of course, you've got to give a lot of respect to Martinez. He's been there at Arsenal. He was one of the most loyal and longest serving Arsenal players at the moment. At the time, and I think he was fighting every day in, day out, to get that number one spot at Arsenal. He had never got the opportunity. When Leno gets injured towards the end of the season, Martinez steps in and he's just so good. He's just over the top, and all of us were like, okay, oh yeah. There is some sense in this. There is some sense here. Martinez is proving to be one of the best goalkeepers. He went ahead in the final, wins it for Arsenal, and many fans actually thought, don't bring back Leno, let Martinez stay as number one goalkeeper. But of course, we couldn't forget that easily. What Leno had done for us last season, one of the best performers at the club in the Premier League. Still remember, I think he was second. I think Aubameyang first, Leno second, and Saka third. In that order. Among the most not talented, but the top performers at the club last season. So, it was a very big question. Very big question. Martinez wanted playing time. He wanted that assurance. There's gonna be first choice goalkeeper. Arteta couldn't do that. I don't blame Mikel Arteta for that. I just don't blame. I know there's so many people who are blaming Mikel Arteta for this, that he let Martinez go and kept Leno. I don't blame him. At that point in time, if you are given that opportunity to decide, it was going to be very hard for you as a fan. It was going to be very hard for you. I think it was more of a technical decision rather than a decision of choices. And I think Martinez left for Aston Villa, where I think he has had a very good career. But we need to stop it. We need to stop the comparison, Leno, Martinez. Whenever Leno makes a mistake, we should have kept Martinez. Whenever Martinez makes a big save, you say we should have kept Martinez. Remember, this season I've seen Martinez also, make some flaws, like the goal Jesse Lingard scored against him. I didn't see many people say, "Oh, we should have kept Bernd Leno." We were right. I didn't see people say that, but that was a ridiculous goal. He should have done better on that. And I don't want to troll Martinez. Like I said, he was one of the most loyal players at Arsenal, longest serving. And I don't think Arsenal. I don't think he owes Arsenal anything, and Arsenal don't owe him anything. But at this point in time, if you're saying that Leno should leave or Leno is leaving, Arsenal are not going to do anything about it, it would be ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Because first and foremost, let's think about it. How many areas that Arsenal need in the summer urgently? You need the right back, you need the left back, you need you probably could need a centre back, you need an attacking midfielder, and you also need a central midfielder. And that's why I've always said that if it is okay for us not to tackle or tamper with the current striking situation, let Lacazette stay, let Aubameyang stay. I'll keep them because you don't need to create another priority area, at the moment. And that's why I'm saying you don't need to joke with Leno. You don't need to start creating these jokes. You don't need, because Leno leaving creates another priority area at Arsenal. And for me, you don't need that. You already have 4 areas you have to fit that you have to fill. That means you're gonna spend around 90 or 85 million pounds. If you're going for the cheaper deals. So you don't need again to create a lot of mess in the goalkeeping situation. Let's think about it. Why does Leno want to leave? Champions League football? I don't think so. More money? I don't think so. I think he is afraid that what has happened to Mesut Ozil, what has happened to Shkodran Mustafi, what has happened to the likes of Socrates, Papastapalas, is going to happen to him, because that is what has been happening to us now. Your contract, when you have 1 year left on your contract, they push you out. I think he's afraid of that, and I think he has a point as a player. He has a point because first and foremost, he has 2 years left on his contract, and he has not had a word from Arsenal. And for me, this is very poor business. Very, very poor business. Players are leaving on free deals. We are cancelling players' contracts. And I'm asking myself, how the hell does Wilshere, Cazorla, players like Ramsey leave on free deals? This is what is happening. So I think Leno has a point. I think what is happening is Leno is trying to tell the management, you know what? I need a new deal. I'm 29 years of age. I'm not going any younger. If I become 31 years of age and you've not given me a deal, you're gonna throw me out like a rag. So I think he's calling out for a new deal. And if Arsenal decide to let him go, that's gonna be ridiculous, very ridiculous. So I think this is a matter of sitting down with Leno, listen to what he has to say. I think he wants a new deal, probably an extension of 2 years or 3 years. He's a 29-year-old goalkeeper. Probably that means he can stay at the club until he's 34, 35 years of age. Give him more 3 years, time down to that position. Just make sure that you have your first year's goalkeeper set. And I think Leno has the ability and capability to be our first choice goalkeeper, unless we are going for a massive upgrade, which I don't see Arsenal make at the moment. So let us look at some of the replacements that have been suggested, because there's so many replacements that have been suggested in case Bernd Leno leaves, and for me this is ridiculous. The first one is Matt Ryan. Could he lead the Arsenal line? Yeah, I think we could. They're in the same age. I think it's a very good shot stopper. But there are two different things: being a number one goalkeeper and being a backup goalkeeper. Yeah, we could look at him right now because he's a second choice goalkeeper. There are not so many things we are asking of him. Not so many. All we are doing is we are saying try to step in for Leno. Try to make try to make this thing look legit. That's what we are saying. Whenever Leno is away, try to make it legit. Try to make us at least try to give us the same level of performance he's giving us, and that's what we are asking, and we are excited that he's dominant. But the question is, when the pressure eventually gets onto his shoulders, is he gonna step in? Because in the summer we thought Leno was decent, and he is still decent. Don't get me wrong, I think he's still decent, but the pressure is now a little bit higher with the Martinez thing, with what now it's high. Now imagine if Matrian steps in, and then Leno, he has the pressure of Leno leaving and Martinez leaving. It's gonna be a lot of pressure for him. Whenever he makes a mistake, you people are gonna say, Matrian has made a mistake. Oh, we should have kept Leno in the first place. We should have kept Martinez, and the pressure is gonna be so much. So I think Ryan is a decent goalkeeper, but it's so different from being a first choice goalkeeper and being a second choice goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, he's been a first choice goalkeeper at Brighton before, and he's been performing well. He's a national fan, which means he could actually offer everything he has. But I would prefer him as a backup goalkeeper to Leno. I think he will push him. I think both of them will achieve so many things together. Probably Matrian for the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup occasionally, and then Leno for the league. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But if you tell me Matrian as my first choice goalkeeper, I would have so many questions about it. And if you have Matrian as your first choice goalkeeper, just imagine who's going to be your second choice. Because for me, I think Ryan fits in as backup goalkeeper because of the quality of Leno. And I still say his quality. Not the best goalkeeper in the world, not the best goalkeeper in the league, but his quality. And he only qualifies Matrian as a backup goalkeeper. You can't get in a player like Emiliano Martinez, and say you're gonna back up to Matrian. I don't think that's gonna happen. If you're gonna bring in a backup goalkeeper to Matrian, you're gonna bring in the likes of what? Of Ospina, the likes of that's the quality you're gonna bring in, and I don't agree. I think Leno should stay. Now there are also other reports that claim Wojciech Scezney has been put in line. This is crazy, isn't it? Scezney has been put in line to replace Leno because Gigi Donnarumma apparently could move to Juventus from AC Milan. Okay. Again, we need to take another deep breath and breathe out. I don't know. I liked Wojciech Scezney. 10 years ago when he was still an upcoming goalkeeper? Is it 10 or 15 years ago? I still remember him when we were being spanked 8-2. He was in goal by Manchester United, and ever since then, he developed to be a better and better goalkeeper. I thought it would be better than David De Gea. I thought they would be, because at that moment in time, I thought they were at the same level. De Gea was a little bit ahead, of course, but the competition was there. I think he was competing with David De Gea, and he suddenly lost it. I don't know how he became first choice goalkeeper at Juventus. I don't know, but I think he was lucky. He was lucky to get to take over from Gigi Buffon, and now Juventus realized they need a serious goalkeeper. They need a more serious goalkeeper. Would I take Wojciech Scezney at Arsenal? No, I wouldn't. I think I've watched him on a couple of occasions. I've not seen a massive change in the Wojciech Scezney we left to go on loan to Juventus and eventually signed there, and the Wojciech Scezney we had. I've not seen a massive upgrade. I've not seen a massive change. I've not seen a change. Yeah, I know he has added some experience, some age. Probably he's been an Arsenal before, so it would be a little bit comfortable for him. But I wouldn't. The truth is, I wouldn't keep him. I wouldn't take him. I would Wojciech Scezney. I'll keep Leno. That is my first priority in this summer. Of course, we still have 2 years, but if 1 year goes and Arsenal have not tied him down to a longer contract, left with 1 year on his contract, it's gonna put us in a very awkward situation. Very, very awkward situation. So I think Edu has a lot to do. Your players like your players like Emil Smith Rowe that need new contracts, and you also have players like Leno. So he needs to work on that. He needs to work on that. Let me see what you people are saying in the chat. 20K, congratulations. Thank you, bro. It's you people who have done it, not me. Ali says, let him leave. Geoffrey says they should keep Leno. Where's he says let him leave. You see, let's get this right. If Leno leaves in the summer, who comes in? Because that's a big question. Who comes in? Like I said, the money we have, the little money we will get, probably if we get it to spend in the summer, already has its own problems. You already have a lot of problems at Arsenal. You don't need to let a goalkeeper go. I mean, logically, there is no way you let Leno go at this point in time. There's no way. Logically, as a fan, you understand. You want an upgrade. Probably you want to get in Yano Black. You want to get in Gigi Donnarumma. Probably you want to get in Alisson. Yeah, I understand. But logically, there is no way you're letting Leno go. There is no way you're letting Leno go. You're creating another problem to solve within a very short period of time. Yet we have millions and millions of problems, starting with the cronkies, with the boards, now with the players, the quality, the manager. You don't need to create another problem. I don't think it's the right time. Right about now, if we sort out the midfield issues, we sort out the right back and left back issues, next summer we could think about the goalkeeper and the striker, maybe. But this summer, I don't see Arsenal. I don't see why we need to put ourselves in a very difficult situation, letting our first choice goalkeeper leave. I don't see. It would be ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. That's it. There are no two ways about it. Don't let no leave. I'm absolutely against it. I know we might need an upgrade, but not at this time. The upgrades we need is letting Bellerin go and replacing him with a first choice right back, getting in a backup left back for Kieran Tierney, get a partner for Thomas Partey, getting another attacking midfielder. Those are the transfer dealings I expect Arsenal to be involved in. I don't expect Leno to be leaving. Arsenal is hunting, is doing a head hunt for a new goalkeeper. Come on, not at this time. Not at this time, really. Not at this time. How are you doing, bro? He creates. Hekosi, I'm Duncan from Turkey. Let him first finish up his contract. Then he leaves because the goal is non because his goal is not good now. 3 years more, it's a lot costly for Leno. You know what? The question for me is, if we are saying Leno is not good enough, let's first look at how good his defense is. Because I think these players are also to blame. We might look. I blamed Leno before, and I still blame him for some goals we have considered this season. He has had a couple of mistakes this season. The Everton goal, I mean, what's that? The Liverpool goal, Jota, what's that? The Slavia Prague goal, we conceded. Weak hands again. Weak hands. Leno, weak hands. Yeah, I've had a couple of issues with him this season. I have had a couple of issues with him last season. But I still think he's a decent goalkeeper. If let's compare Leno to Kyle Navas. Yeah, to Kyle Navas, PSG. Who do you take, guys? Okay, compare him to the Dortmund goalkeeper. I think he's still a decent goalkeeper. And if you have the list of 20, the 20 best goalkeepers in Europe, it's gonna be among the top 10. Trust me, he's among the top 10 best goalkeepers in Europe. Because I think the players, the keepers that are ahead of him, you think about, I think about definitely Donnarumma. I think about him. I think about probably Alisson, Liverpool. I think about players like Ederson, Manchester City, David De Gea, Manchester United, Yano Black. I think about Stegen. I'm not so sure about Thibaut Courtois. I'm not so sure about him. The likes of Pope, the likes of Pickford, those ones, they're not ahead of Leno. Trust me, they're not ahead of him, in my opinion. Anyways, my opinion. I don't think Pope, Pickford, those English goalkeepers that are being put on the hype, Dean Henderson, I don't think they're better than Leno. I think what he needs to do is cut out the mistakes. He's a decent goalkeeper, very good decent goalkeeper, very good shot stopper, but he needs to cut out his mistakes. The mistakes are costing him a lot. You're right, Kosi. How big up Timo? How are you doing, bro? Kosi, how are you doing today? I don't think is now Leno to leave Leno. Yeah, I also don't think it's time to leave Leno at the moment. I also don't think it think like that, bro. Martinez is so wavy, is so ahead of Leno. I don't think so. I don't think it's so clear of Leno. What I think is Martinez has had a tremendous season this season, and Leno has had one of his nightmare seasons. If Leno had kept the season he had last season, a replica of the same season, we wouldn't be saying the same words. That's the truth. We wouldn't be saying the same words. I think the reason as why we are picking out on Leno, and I'm going to ask you people, how many Aston Villa games do you watch? How many Aston Villa games do you watch? Yeah, you might say, Martinez, blah, 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 is one of the best goalkeepers. Yeah. But how many Aston Villa games do you watch? I know there's a lot of attention on Leno because you almost watch 38 games out of 38 Premier League games of Arsenal. So you see Leno every match. How many Aston Villa? If Aston Villa is not playing City, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, how many Aston Villa games do you watch apart from the big games? So do you watch him week in, week out? No, I know he has kept a couple of clean sheets, 10 in this 10 and above in this season, and he's a decent goalkeeper, and I agree, but he's not miles and miles ahead of Leno. We need to be realistic in this one. Need to be a little bit realistic. He's not miles and miles ahead of Leno. He's not miles and miles. Yes, I think he's a little bit this season. He's been a little bit better, and I think there is a lot of time for Leno to close that gap. One season like this, and just have a good season. And also, Mikel is to blame for this. Man is always changing his centre back partnership. Today he's using Gabriel and Mari. Tomorrow he's using Mari and Gabriel. You need to change. You need to have that consistency in the left back, in your centre back. You need to have it. You need to have consistency in your defense. Leno is unfortunate that he's not having that. And if you look at how organized Aston Villa are, it also gives Martinez an upper hand. We are so disorganized, these players. Have you seen these players, man? Have you seen them this season? They've been so poor. From the defense to the midfield, there is no cover. The way the attack starts, the attack starts from the enemy territory, the way it's the same way it reaches the goal of Leno. And he has had to save us a lot of times. So let us not disrespect Leno. Let us not disrespect him, bro. I don't think we have a better goalkeeper now that's better than Leno. I think I'm making a sense. I agree. I agree with you. I don't think at the moment Arsenal is going to go out there and find these attractive, beautiful goalkeepers at the moment. Like I said, yeah, we could do with an upgrade. I have no issues with that. We could do with an upgrade, but not at the moment. We have so many areas to tackle. We have so many areas to look at. Not the goalkeeping situation. Not the goalkeeping situation. We don't need to create another problem for ourselves on our hands. I mean, let it slide. Let it slide. Yeah, I've seen a list of goalkeepers that have been recommended, but my question is, how far ahead are they of Leno? Not so far ahead. Because even if Leno leaves, Arsenal is never going to sign Jan Oblak. Arsenal is never going to sign Donnarumma. Arsenal is never going to sign the likes of Alisson. That is not Arsenal. Just think about it. Think about the goalkeepers we have had before Leno. And you see that he's a little bit ahead of them. We have had Munia, we have had Ospina, we've had Manone, we have the likes of Fabianski. Leno is a little bit ahead of them. A little bit ahead of them. So we've just got to be patient. I think we'll have, if he gets another bad season with his mistakes, he doesn't learn from this season, probably, I would think about and say maybe we could use another goalkeeper. But one season, it looks like we're forgetting so easily. Last season, many people voted for Leno in. I know. And it's just that Arsenal fans, many of you people are hypocrites. You don't want to take the truth that you voted for Leno last season and now you're voting him out. You're just hypocrites. That's the truth. But if you are gonna be sincere, the truth is, it's like if Partey gets another bad season, because for me, I think he's having a rough season, a tough season. If he gets another bad season, next season, many of you people are gonna say he was never good enough. He was never good enough. We should have signed a war. But remember the celebrations. You remember the party celebrations. All that will be forgotten, man. All of that will be forgotten. So let's try to keep Leno. Bro. Kosi, Leno is better. Don't let us bring another problem to a team called Arsenal. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with you, bro. I think one of the things you've got to put at the back of your mind is who comes in and how better are they than the option we are kicking out. That is when you should many people will realize we should keep Leno. Because I'm talking about Martinez playing for Arsenal. I've seen everything in Martinez need in a goalkeeper. Leno doesn't command his box and lacks concentration. Therefore, I can't rate him as top class goalkeeper. Thank you so much, Wills. I wouldn't say the players are that poor. We just have a poor manager who can't motivate them enough. I don't disagree, Gogo. I don't disagree with you, bro. I think at times it's gonna go back to the manager. Your job is try to make that these men are organized enough. Try to make sure that these men are performing to top level. Try to organize them into the best 11. He has failed to do that. For me, I think the motivation, the attitude, the data blueprint that all of us were waiting for millions and millions of ages, it's not coming out. It's not coming out at the moment. So I agree with you, bro. Man doesn't have a starting lineup, and I still get puzzled. Why we have a manager who can't get a starting lineup, yet we sacked the likes of Arsene Wenger, Emery. Those men could actually get their starting lineups right. The problem was the quality of the players, man. I don't think we have a better goalkeeper than Leno. We've looked at that. I watched Leno before coming to Arsenal, Kosi. He's a wonderful goalkeeper. I followed him at Leverkusen before. He's a decent goalkeeper, bro. He's a decent goalkeeper. Look, I think there was the season before he signed for Arsenal. He was the only man standing in for Bayer Leverkusen defensive-wise. They had a very good attack, but defensive-wise, he could make save in, save out, match in, match out. So I think he's a decent goalkeeper, people. We've got to agree to that. Whether he leaves or stays, he's a decent goalkeeper. You can't take that away from him. Kosi, you're correct. Leno makes mistakes too much, but can't we try the youth like Arsene Wenger did? Well, at the point, at this point in time, if you're talking about the youth goalkeepers, then I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Plus, Leno has I don't care attitude when he makes mistakes because he knows he'll play week in, week out, no matter how he performs. Then that goes back to the competition, bro. Probably we should think, we should be thinking about giving him, a better partner as a competitor rather than selling him. The problem is Arteta, not the goalkeeper. This is according to Regan. You know what? Yeah, I understand Arteta is also to blame partly. You know what? The blame on Arsenal, is equally shared among the fans, among the players, the manager, the board, and the ownership. Because I think our fans, you've seen what the Manchester United fans have done. The Liverpool Manchester United game is postponed, courtesy of the pressure, and you see how contented Arsenal fans are. So at times, everybody's to blame. Everybody's to blame. I watched Leno. We've looked at that. Gogo says he accepts mediocrity and promotes sentiments in the team. Look at his statement about Tierney and Martinelli. He's a very poor manager. Yeah, I don't believe. You know what? Right from day one, I've never believed in Arteta as manager. Trust me, because you know very well Gabriel matches with David Lowy, and when one of them gets an injury, that's when mikel turns to Rob Holding and Pablo Mari. Did we start the season? Did we start the season with Gabriel and Luis? No, we started the season with Rob Holding and Gabriel. If you still remember, they played a couple of games. Then we saw Pablo Mari and Rob Holding. We saw that, and then Luis and Gabriel came in, and then we have seen Holding and Mari. So we have seen so many partnerships, bro. We've seen so many partnerships, bro. If you've been following us, no, you know we've seen so many partnerships. Some needed, others even not needed. So people, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We shall be here at exactly 5:30 p.m. I'll be here at exactly 5:30 p.m. We discuss the Arsenal takeover update. What actually what exactly is happening. Thierry Henry has spoken. We are expecting a bid this week, 1.8 billion bid this week. The Cronkies have also officially received the intent, the letter of intent. We're going to discuss that and more. Probably we shall talk about the transfer news at 7 p.m. So a lot is going to be discussed at exactly 5 p.m. So make sure you're hitting the like button and make sure you're subscribing. I'll see you at exactly 5:30 p.m. Get that time. 5:30 p.m. Gonna be here, discuss the takeover, everything you need to know about the takeover, and all your questions answered about the takeover, so that at exactly 7 p.m. we go in for the transfer news, because a lot of transfers are blowing up at the moment as well. What happens? What is happening right now? Arsenal affected so many things, including the goalkeeper. I believe if everything is going well, definitely the goalkeeper will perform. I agree, bro. I think the situation at Arsenal, you can't blame one player. You can't blame one player. A lot of people have to take the blame. I actually think Ryan is a decent goalkeeper if given a chance. He's tidy in his game. I like him. Yeah, we liked Leno last season. You remember? We like Leno still. We like Leno, and at this point in time, we feel like he should leave. So, Arsenal fans, we are not the easiest fans in the world. At times we could swing in and swing out. But people, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back at 5:30 p.m. with the Arsenal takeover update and the whole discussion.